check it out. Do what you want, girl, break position.
And so it's a chance to go deep. Like you said, we're going to talk about the behind the scenes, and that was going on behind the scenes. And so the audience will be let in on something very powerful that could not even happen on a
NBC,
reboot. So
right?
you're
Yes,
welcome.
yes, Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting because when Living Single came out,
Lesbian
thereafter,
etiquette. It's not like I've ever known any before.
Aunt Gladys was gay.
Aunt Gladys was not gay. She just never found the right man.
I'm not gonna believe what I just heard.
Look, we not trying to hear any more of your gossip, all right?
Come on, I wasn't trying to hear it either, all right? I was walking down the street, minding my own business, and when
Could do something about it, she would.
You're such a trusting girl. Could I hold your wallet? Bobo gal.
You thought you knew everything about living single. 6 friends in Brooklyn, living their best lives, making us laugh every Thursday night from 1993 to 1998. But what you didn't see was the struggle behind those perfect smiles. While they were creating one of the most popular African-American sitcoms of its era, ranking among the top 5 in Black and Latino ratings for all 5 seasons, few knew what they were truly fighting behind the scenes. This is the story of how a groundbreaking sitcom that changed television forever came with a price that nearly broke the people who made it possible. Brooklyn, New York, August 22, 1993. Fox Television launched something revolutionary, a show about successful Black professionals living their dreams in the city. Created by Yvette Lee Bowser, Living Single centered on 6 friends in their 20s, living the single life in Prospect Heights, Brooklyn. Not maids, not stereotypes, but an attorney, a stockbroker, a magazine publisher, and their friends pursuing their own paths to success. At the center of it all was Dana Owens, better known to the world as Queen Latifah, playing Khadijah James, the hardworking editor and publisher of the fictional urban independent magazine Flavor. But even as Queen Latifah was building her empire on screen, she carried a deep personal pain. The key worn around Khadijah James's neck was real. It honored the memory of Queen Latifah's brother who died in a motorcycle accident. Every episode, millions of viewers saw that key, never knowing the heartbreak it represented. Living alongside Khadijah was her sweet but naive cousin Sinclair James, played by Kim Coles, an aspiring actress who worked as Khadijah's receptionist. Coles brought her background as a stand-up comedian to the role, having started performing in the 1980s. But Hakem Diga, behind her bubbly character, she would face pressures from the industry that fans never saw. Then there was Regina Hunter, played by Kim Fields, the image-conscious boutique buyer on a constant search for a well-to-do man. Fields was already known in the industry long before landing single. She had gained widespread recognition as Dorothy "Tootie" Ramsey on The Facts of Life. But transitioning from child star to adult actress brought challenges that Algan's rumors Sujiram affected her deeply during the show's run. Across the hall lived Maxine "Max" Shaw, played by Erica Alexander, the sharp-tongued attorney and Khadijah's best friend from their college days at Howard University. Alexander had made her TV debut as Pam on The Cosby Show before landing this career-defining role, but few knew that her performance as the confident lawyer would inspire real-world change, with Black women later citing Maxine Shaw as their inspiration to pursue careers in law. The men of the show lived upstairs: Kyle Barker, the stockbroker, played by T.C. Carson, whose constant verbal sparring with Max masked an obvious sexual attraction, and Overton "Obi" Wakefield Jones, played by John Henton, the friendly handyman who held a deep affection for Sinclair. What viewers didn't know was that during the first season, Kim Fields and John Henton were actually dating in real life, bringing an extra layer of chemistry to their on-screen interactions. Living Single quickly became a phenomenon. During its first season, it consistently garnered higher ratings than Martin, which aired immediately before it on Thursday nights. It quickly became the 4th highest-rated show on Fox among their 12 current series. The show dealt with real issues: workplace challenges, relationships, family dynamics, all while showing successful Black characters in a way television had rarely done before. But success in Hollywood is complicated, especially in the 1990s. Throughout its run, Living Single became one of the most popular African-American sitcoms of its era. but it struggled to break into lists of top television programs viewed by larger general audiences and never broke into the top 50, though it was a higher performer for the Fox network itself. Here's where the story takes a darker turn. Show creator Yvette Lee Bowser was disappointed that Warner Bros. Television did not promote Living Single nearly as much as it did Friends. Both shows were produced by Warner Bros., both featured 6 friends living in New York, but the treatment they received was vastly different. Living Single featured successful black characters including an attorney, a stockbroker, and a business owner. In contrast to Friends, which featured a white cast including a waitress, a folk singer, and an unemployed actor. T.C. Carson, who played Kyle Barker, eventually became the spokesperson for the cast when they had issues to address with the network. As he revealed in later interviews, "We would come to them as a cast, but I would be the spokesperson for it." So, that last season before I left, they called me in and they basically said, "Well, all these problems we've been having, they listen to you. You're the person they listen to. So if you said something else, then they would do that." I looked at them and said, "Well, first of all, we're dealing with 5 grown people, and they have their own mindset and own ideas about what we're doing. Everything we come to you with is a group decision, not my decision. But if you think I have that much power, then I need to have a different job." I don't think they liked that. The result was devastating. T.C. Carson was let go from the show because he called out Warner Bros. For neglecting Living Single in favor of Friends. His departure left a massive hole in the show's heart, as his chemistry with Erica Alexander's Maxine had been one of the series' strongest elements. The series finale came on January 1st, 1998, but not before the show had left its mark on television history. Those who loved and watched the show regularly told creator Yvette Lee Bowser that they connected with its characters, loved the cast, and were inspired by the positive, elegant, and professional portrayal of black people on television. Pusser T noted that, "People say our characters remind them of themselves, their friends, or their relatives. But the cost was real. The show's cancellation was handled poorly by Fox, with what many described as a sloppy ending that didn't do justice to 5 years of groundbreaking television. After Living Single ended, the cast members went their separate ways, each carrying the experience differently. Queen Latifah continued her rise to become one of the most successful entertainers in the world, actress, rapper, singer, producer, talk show host. But tragedy struck again in 2018 when her mother, Rita Owens, who had been her greatest inspiration, passed away after a long battle with a heart condition. Kim Fields branched out in her professional endeavors, becoming not just an actress but also a director and producer. Over the years, she directed episodes of shows such as Kenan and Kel and Tyler Perry's House of Pain, while also appearing in several projects. She even joined the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2015 and competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2016. T.C. Carson, after being let go from Living Single, pivoted into voice work and became highly successful, eventually becoming the voice of Kratos in the God of War video game series and Mace Windu in various Star Wars projects. 4. John Henton. Life took a dramatic turn in September 2000 when he was involved in a serious car accident that destroyed his left eye socket, shattered both of his legs, broke 9 teeth, and ripped up his stomach. His face was badly deformed by the incident, though extensive plastic surgery restored most of his facial structure. But Hakem Diga ki his spirit remained unbroken, and he eventually returned to performing. Erica Alexander continued to build her career, appearing in acclaimed projects like Get Out, Wu-Tang, An American Saga, and most recently American Fiction. She became a producer and director, using her platform to tell stories that matter. Kim Coles found her voice again as a beacon of self-acceptance and joy, though all guns rumors suggest she faced her own struggles with industry pressures during and after the show. The legacy of Living Single cannot be understated. The show paved the way for future series featuring black professionals and proved that authentic black stories could find mainstream success. It influenced everything from Girlfriends to Insecure, showing that representation matters not just for audiences, but for the creators who see themselves reflected on screen. In 2008, an hour-long retrospective special, Living Single, The Reunion, Show aired on TV1. Coles, Henton, Fields, Carson, and Alexander reunited to share fond memories with fans, though Queen Latifah and Mel Jackson were unavailable to participate. The special featured clips and revealing secrets of the cast from the show's 5-year run. Then in 2018, TV1 aired a weekend marathon of Living Single to highlight the 25th anniversary of the show. Coles, Henton, Fields, and Carson reunited, once again, providing a tribute to Rita Owens, Queen Latifah's real-life mother, who had passed earlier that year. Again, Queen Latifah, Erica Alexander, and Mel Jackson were unavailable to participate. Today, 30 years later, Living Single lives on in the hearts of millions. The show proved that Black stories are universal stories, that representation matters, and that sometimes the most important battles are fought behind the scenes by people who just want to tell their truth. They made us laugh, but ha quem diga, qui they cried behind the scenes. They inspired us to dream bigger, while fighting battles we never knew existed. They gave us joy while carrying their own struggles. Living Single wasn't just a show, it was a revolution disguised as a sitcom. And sometimes revolution comes with a price that only those who lived it truly understand.